Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets, one of the coaches as well. A little after 11, I apologize about being tardy. I'll tell you why. As we approach a little bit after 11 Eastern. Okay, let's sign into TradeGATEHub. All right. I wanted to point something out that I wanted everybody to watch that I thought may be developing as I take this thing off here. What is this thing? Okay, let me log in the TradeGATEHub. Forget about it. Let me log. What is this thing here? Yeah, let me get that out of there. Okay, good. All right. As I log in the TradeGATEHub, I wanted everybody to be aware of this, and it's happening today. And it's a matter of, I don't know if this is the new normal, TradeGATEHub, or it's just a day situation. So let me get to it right here as I pause this. And this was yesterday, something that I posted. First of all, go back to Monday. A lot of things are coming to fruition as the data kind of trickles out, or it's almost like it's rolling. It's rolling what's going on. But the most important thing that I wanted to point out, Carter, was this. Where am I? All right. C8, well, let's go through the routine anyway until I get it. Good morning, C8 positioning, they're even. Match it up. They're a little bit ahead of themselves in the Nasdaq Mini. No surprise, a little bit pullback. Fed watch yesterday, hedge fund exposure 0.0 right there. So now they're chasing a little bit, and that helped by that record short squeeze last Thursday, one of the biggest short squeezes, if not in history. So that exacerbated the move. It actually helped a little bit because some stocks are settling out, which is why the VIX is so low. There's still a lot of things to do, but that's kind of what you wanted to happen. You didn't want everything to go up at once. It's almost like you wanted, well, maybe you did. You want everything to go up and settle down, and really the better stocks stay afloat, if you will. Tactical sentiment. That I point out, and I will get into in a second. Bottom line is, I wanted everybody to. We're getting to the point in the market with the fear and greed index going to, I think it's in the 80s. Once again, you have to go back to TradeGATEHub to watch all the data that I posted, but it's almost getting to the point where, now they're selling good news. It's priced in, and I'll go to the charts quickly and at least give you an example of what I'm talking about today. Okay, you had two major well, first of all, here's my major networker here. You had stocks yesterday that acted well, that kind of pulled back on earnings. DuPont was an example that was up nicely. Here's my artificial intelligence stocks bounced, of course, because they took profits. Carvana is making the short squeezes, the rest of them down. Google was down, was down a big number, and he told me Google was down 6% at one point. Has news rage at action, pardon me. I always said the market would have been down a lot more. Tesla, but this is my point. EMPH had earnings this morning, right here. Okay. They, instead of buying these type of new stocks the last week, they're starting to, as we get a little bit extended, they're selling. And by the way, EMPH had very good news. This is the EMPH daily, went right up to the 200-day for those that were alert. I'm not saying it was an exact short. The stock is certainly in a downtrend, acting poorly as compared to the other solar stocks, even if you compared it to the TAN. TAN is acting a lot better than EMPH, but EMPH was, might be emblematic of what's going on today. Stock, the broken line is where it closed, 228, gapped up to 240, gapped up $20, had a straight line down, even broke the open, came back, settled, and one's probably open. So bottom line is that's where EMPH right now. It didn't take the news very well. Capri, Michael Kors, another example, that they're not really bailing these things out anymore like they were. For example, Zoom Info, a couple of days ago, they bailed out. The stock was what? 26, and the stock closed at 31. And that's, information cloud stock, if you will. But I'll give you a perfect example of what happened today. Uber. Here you go. Gapped up on the open, 37.55. Gapped up, same thing as EMPH. You have to be aware of these things. And you know what? It wasn't a surprise that when the market gapped up like that they kind of took down the cues and everything started to, disintegrate a little bit. Everybody said, all right, the run's over. People, stop buying these type of things. Microsoft was up what? 276. Now it came back $7. Tesla was negative. Another stock like Net was up huge. was up at $62. Now it's 58 and a half. It's $3.50 move on net. So it's still approaching the 200-day on the resistance of actually the support. But there's a lot of rotation. Uber, like I said, SI, I'm in this for some reason now. BILL had, so they're taking up the stocks that got beaten down and selling the stocks. They're actually selling the news, or actually they're selling the rumor. Forget about the news. So let's look at today's stocks. Boba down, Win, Lennar down, Coin, Plug, EMPH. What else that earnings today that didn't act well? Team, Qualcomm, ZI gave it all back. Capri, Michael Kors, no surprise they took down the rest of the retailers here. AI had a nice pop on the open. Then it did its fade, just like the rest of them. What is stock closed at 24.60. They ran it to 20, $4 move, right back to 25 now. So no matter what you feel about AI stocks going forward, stocks to trade, 26 million by 11 o'clock and have, a $4 range. Your job is, no matter what trader, based upon your plan and your due diligence, your style, take money out of the market. You know what I mean? There's huge moves today in these type of stocks. I'll give you a positive. EMPH, obviously is a solar stock. It's positive that Fizzler's still positive, Plug is still positive, BE is still up there, Run is not really having the big hit. So maybe they're selling the leaders and just holding on to the ancillary ones. It's yet to be determined. Chevron's the same thing. Chevron, the best of breed, is down $2, but the other ones are holding in there. Chevron's down 2.5, Exxon's down 30 cents. I know it's more of expensive, blah, blah, blah. XBI, another one. Zoom had the news yesterday. It doesn't matter. Zoom, within the last 3 days, 74 to 84, back down to 76 on, 2.5 million. That's okay as opposed to left. So trade these things. You know what I mean? Meta gave it all back one day. Shopify, same thing. TDD was up nicely today. TDD 50. Oh, hold on. That's yesterday. TDD 53.52. What else? I did buy some SI today. Now I'm buried in it. Look at Coin. Same thing. I hate using that word, buried in it. SI, where was I buying it? Transparent. From all the way to 19, all the way to 17. Why am I buying it? Because of this. I'll show you why. It's going to be the same reason why I'm probably going to be selling it. Hold on. Following. What's this? They were loading the tape up with ZS bullish, SPY bearish, put call ratio. Actually, we're due to pull back a little bit. It's not even a big pullback yet. So I'm going to wait. Where are we going here? CG bullish, home builders, a couple of names in the groups from protection. So they're buying some puts in the homies. Lennar. What a nice run in the homies. Lennar, 109. Wazilla. Redfin, the squeezer of all squeezers. Toll. Too late for me. But hold on. I'm jumping around. Let's get back to here. Why I bought the SI? Hold on. All right. You're buying calls and trust me. Let's go back to what the wise guys are doing now. This is rest. It's a resting area. Google down 8 is still holding. It's just Boyd family sold shares in Boyd Gaming. The family sold up here on the gap up. So when I see that, I look at what? I look at MGM. I look at some Caesars. I look at IGT Gaming. I look at Penn. Nothing there. All right. So what else? Let me get back to what's going on. I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. There's a lot moving on. It's irrelevant in the next half an hour. Trust me. What you should be doing right now, instead of all this and going through, is this. Going to, let's go to stock scanner. Only thing that matters now after big moves are stocks up high in relative volume What do we have here? Osh getting taken over. Uber, I mentioned. Dash, I did not mention. TripAdvisor, I did not mention. Short squeeze. Microsoft, we said CVS has earnings. Yum China had earnings. By the way, Yum China, let's see what that's doing. I probably missed the trade. I would have shorted that. I don't no idea where it is. I would have lost. Well, lost. But you know what happened? Look at CMG. CMG was another one. CMG gapped down, broke lower. This CMG was a surprise. You know what I mean? The CMG with it looked like yesterday it broke high with volume, and they've reversed it now with earnings and volume. Now you have to go to the weekly. Listen, I'm not a CMG trader, but CMG is a best of breed, and it's everything comprised in it. It's a big cap. It's got a squeeze in it. You know what I mean? So you have to watch CMG. It's more a macro situation now on CMG than anything else. So what's down on high relative volume? This is probably going to be the more ones. Capri we mentioned, EMPH we mentioned. We should Under Armour reversal. They had a chance to squeeze the Under Armour, and I'm saying to myself in the morning, who would squeeze Under Armour? I don't even buy the Under Armour 12 to. You know what? No big deal on Under Armour. Next, you know what I mean? Might be a good trade. Buy short 5,000. Whatever. There's a gap at 1162. Where it is the gap, it goes lower. Probably goes lower. They took Nike down. What do they do with Skechers? Skechers is holding after good earnings. A TPR going with Capri. That's Coach, the old Coach. TPR even had the bounce. 47 to 42. Is it holding? TPR, no interest. If it broke the low on 42.80, TPR, you know what I mean? Trades out of it. Not even that much volume, but I'm just giving an example of what to look at. Next, what's breaking low? How about this? Breaking down on the day as of 11 when we're on live. So what's breaking down right now? RVLV, a short squeeze. The short squeeze is over. Futu, China, AMC, short squeeze is over. HKD, short squeeze is over. AMC, short squeeze is over. You get the picture. All the ones that were short that they shorted. What's new breaking out on the day as opposed to now? So it's breaking higher. Merck, they're going back to the drugs. Like I posted yesterday, ABBV, Merck, Humana, drugs and healthcare. Bah, big deal. GH, CVS had earnings. So that's it. You see the rotation. I'll go back to my screen. I could probably guess where my screen is right now on my universe. So EMPH still negative. Here's my watch list. The big daddies, mega cap, Microsoft's going negative. Apple, 152. Higher, lower highs. Higher, lower highs. PayPal was SI. All right, no problem, SI. My fault for not selling it on the air. JD, FUTU, now going back to the 200-day, just like that. LI, no breaking highs. Royal Caribbean went down. Uber is hanging in there. FCX Metals doing nothing. Chevron still down to his EOG's up. I'll keep that in mind. So they led the semis. A couple of semis are still up. A couple of banks are still up. The homies are down. Coles is breaking down now. Here's another example. This JWin. Right back down. It was 29 when I started shorting. It was Friday afternoon. That's 23. No interest in it. Exacts, Alt, RNA. What are we doing here? Let's go back. Any questions? Go back to TGH. TGH. Gonna go low and slow for now on. You know what these oils might be a buy? Devon Energy. What's going on here? You know what? Hold on. It's below the 200-day. Devon, you know what I mean? Maybe it makes a coach believes in that too. And he's kind of right. When the stock it has that 200-day upside to it. I'm gonna have to look at that. Chevron, no bounce. Not interested. EMPH. If they take this one back to positive, that would be interesting. At least if they take it back to 331, but not looking like that. My YPF, I sold. Look at this, buying YPF, selling it, buying it, selling it, over trading the position. Boeing, Lennar, Baidu, they gave back the AI. Okay, what else have I got going here? Not doing anything, you bastard. Goldman, the big daddy's breaking high. Goldman breaking high on the day. So you like relative strength? There it is, the one to break high. Citibank, JP Morgan, same one. Well, you know what? It looks like the banks. Do you want to go into something? Buy, XLF maybe? It's nothing that XLF. Those are, this chart looks like every other tech stock or stock it has been, but actually these ones are holding up today. There's a couple of them giving back. Microsoft, a little bit of a bounce. Let's see what happens here. Where's the NAS? We got to look at our levels. Let's go back to levels is more important. Okay, Qs. You know what I mean? 303 is the spot. 303 is the spot. Let's look at the SPYs. I'll post the ranges on the minis. The ES. The SPYs are 410. The whole number. You know what I mean? It's coming back. You know what I mean? It's a trade. It's a market to trade. You just made a move from 37 to 34.40. Where's my SI? This past. I'm gonna buy two more of it now. Buy 200. You know what? Only buy 200 more. Averaging down on tape here, breaking a lot of rules. Not good. This Zim is interesting. The shipper had a nice move. Now we're doing a couple of handles. It's one of these shippers that goes with Sting. I like the Zim now. It's got a nice divvy. This thing I'm going to be interested. It's not a barn burner, but I like the way the rotation's acting. Zim volume. I like it to get up of the 23.16 gap. It has the move in it. Go to the weekly. Once again, made a nice move. So Zim, I got my eye on. So if I got my eye on that, Twilo, where's Twilo? Twilo, I thought was really going to go today, but I bit the bullet, sold appropriately, started buying it more, is trying to push it. Twilo is 63, sold the high at 63.80, went down to 62. Next, what else? Fix, high of the day, interesting. Coach would be interested in that. Lithium, Carvana still up there, plug. So listen, it boils down to stocks with range, volume, and your levels. That's it. Don't be trying to be a hero, especially today when it's in middle of the afternoon after a nice couple of day moves. The fear and greed is extended. A couple of moves, stocks are resting. You know what? Just if you want to play something, just go with stocks with volume and range. You know what I mean? Don't let one of these things that happened to me a couple of days ago where, you start something and you start a position on small volume and then a small position leads to a big position and the loser gets worse. Just keep in mind the best positions start when they start working right away. So I'll stop pontificating. I'll leave it there as I sign off on a Wednesday afternoon. Keep in touch with the rule, Paul. Thanks for noting your trade. Always note your trade. There's never, you know what I mean? We're looking at stocks also that have been trading well. Owen Semiconductor, a great trader. The stocks within the past 3 days has went from 77 to 86, $10 range. We're going down here now. Google, SI, selling it right off the air. As well, it's going to the moving averages, but it is what it is. Capri, DuPont gave it back. Boeing, UAL up. Royal Caribbean. So you know what I mean. Just go through the names, and let's go through what the guys are doing here. Let's go right here. The fear and greed index should be posted. DraftKings, still nothing to see in the buy side. Equity put call coming in a little bit. Market's going to pull back. Where's the fear greed index? Win over here is a fear greed right here. You know what I mean? So the market's still in a nice phase, but it's yet to be determined. Still, it's delicate about if there's profit taking or shorting. A lot of the shorts are out, so there's fresh money to short out there. Just keep in mind. So trade well, have a plan, and we'll see you at the lunch. Thanks for sharing. Cheers.